Got it? And Emily is recording the meeting for us so that if there's any guys that couldn't join on today, that they can partake in this later with the recording. So welcome everyone. I'm Ann Russell, and I've been with Young Living for 7 years. And we have a few people that are going to share their testimonials, and I really welcome everyone to jump in with some of their favorites too. And Emily and I have our partners not beside us, but we've captured them. So we'll be sharing with you for that. And Emily's going to start by talking a little bit about Young Living.
Okay. My husband is away at work right now, which is why there was a galaxy behind me when I just popped on, because he was doing bedtime stories to the kids, and I think they added filters. So he's sharing his part already. So I'm just going to share my screen here. And I just want to talk quickly about like what is Young Living. Just a second, sorry. I got it messed up here. There is some feedback coming from my sound. Is everybody muted? Sorry. Okay, here we go. Share screen. Okay, hopefully this is the right one. Sorry. And I should be talking while I figure this out.
While Emily's getting set up, if you are unmuted, just mute, because it does make some sound feedback for everyone. Okay, I can't seem to find my slideshow, so we're gonna go with this one. So Young Living has been around for 27 years. That is legacy company, and it started at the, oh, here we go. This is the one I was looking for. It started at the kitchen table of Gary and Marianne. My story is, I'm Emily. I've been with Young Living for 4 years, and my husband works out of town. I had a huge like aha moment when both of my parents passed away when I was in my 20s and early 30s. And I just was awoken at the beginning of my motherhood to toxins in my environment. And I was just paranoid that I not like make my kids sick later on in their life because of what they're exposed to early on. So when I found Young Living, I was all in. It was the answer to everything I was looking for. Those are my 5 kiddos there. 2 of my 2 boys have both been mostly all oily. My son was 6 months when I started with Young Living. And 10 months after I started, I went to a farm and I got to actually be a part of the distillation. And that showed me like behind the doors that this is a family company. Everybody who worked there would just like, their hearts would swell up when they would talk about how much they love this company. And they were all related to Gary somehow. And I was confused because I thought this was a massive organization and they were cousins and nephews, and I couldn't believe it. I realized this really is a family company and they don't cut corners. Everything from start to finish is like by old-fashioned standards of no chemicals on the farms. And that man in the picture next to me, he used to be a forester for 25 years. And then he was hired by Gary to lead the team, pulling the trees out of the forest to harvest their needles and their branches for making our beloved tree essential oils. And I rode with him in his cab and I asked him, what do you love about Young Living? And he filled up with tears and he said, I've had so much chronic pain in my elbows and my wrists from all my forestry work. And I can't believe that the trees I was burning for all those years actually held the secret to my rejuvenation. The oil in those trees and those needles was actually the cure I was looking for. And so he carries a bottle of balsam fir everywhere he goes. And there we were pulling out those trees to make the oil. And to see this man get so emotional about it, I just knew I was all in with Young Living after that experience. And then that is my last baby, who is an oily baby, and they have just made my life so much easier. And I'm grateful to Gary and Mary, who started this company like at their farm table. Gary also had a big aha moment in his early 20s that led him to pursue health and wellness with his entire life. And that is his purpose, to give the things he learned to every house in the world. He believes that essential oils will be in every house in the world. And I wish he had specified that they be Young Living oils, because there's lots of knockoffs out there, but I believe his vision is coming true. And he passed away just after I got started, but his wife and his sons are just so committed to fulfilling his goal and to maintaining the standards of the company, and all in his name for his legacy. So there's 3,500 global employees around the world, 6 million plus members. We get about 100,000 globally every month. 24 corporate and partner farms, 16 offices globally, 220 plus essential oils, and 600 individual products. So we're going to hear lots about those individual products now. This is their spans around the world, and I'm going to pause it there so that we can go back and hear about some of the other life-changing experiences that men have had with these oils. So I'm just trying, there we go.
Thank you. Thank you so much. So I'm going to show a little presentation too, and before I do, I'll just kind of start with a bit of an introduction of my story. So interestingly enough, so our topic is men and oils. Griffin fell in love with the products. His first win was for allergies, and he like went running. He made himself business cards. My name was not on the business card. It was Griffin Russell, Young Living, and our member number. And he was going to build a wild business, and he started with Megan Marr, and then he enrolled Shauna Paul and has continued to share. He is one of the most generous people, and there are times where he will come home and he'll be like, could we make 60 rollers tonight? Like, yes, we can. We really can. And so he has shared a lot over the years, and it fairly quickly things changed, and all of a sudden he signed me up for a health fair booth, and I was standing there by myself. He was not there. And I was figuring it out. And I'm so glad that he said yes, and that he had that commitment. And I was the skeptical one, which that's, for a lot of people, it's reversed. So I love to share that, but I also have such a heart for those that are skeptical and that are reserved, and that do take it slow. And I really encourage people to kind of enter where they're comfortable at. And that's what I did. But then it was win after win after win. And so we had all of our babies were oily births. And that really was a huge catalyst to our business, because it was quite noticeable, all these experiences that we were having that were different, and they were different because of the oils. And so the midwives noticed, and then they got oils after that first birth with Romy Lou, and then they continued to share. And then the daycare noticed, and they would ask questions about what are we doing. And Griffin has been a huge piece of that, because there are times where there would be a child crying, or I would be like stressing out, and he would say, have you oiled them yet? Like, have you gone to that? So it was he's been like such a huge support. So I'm gonna share my screen and just take you through a little bit more of our story. Just one second here. Okay, you can see my screen okay? So this is our first of our June workshops. So we do have, next week we're doing whole body wellness. The week in between is convention week. So stay tuned for fun things during that time. The 23rd is hormone health, which we did last month and people are asking for it again. It was so, so great. And then the last week of June is summer essentials. So same Zoom code, jump on any of those ones that you can. Okay, so before I start Griffin's video, I just want to give a bit more context. So he is a different person than, I think we all marry a different person than we marry, right? Like he was this vivacious, young, charismatic individual. And the last couple years have been really tough. And I say that because I'm so thankful that we had oils through that time. And his experience has been that there are 2 pandemics happening right now. So I think it's important that we talk about that, because the second pandemic that isn't really talked about is the opioid crisis. We've lost 7,000 men. And the 80% of the overdoses that happen, so 70% of the overdoses overall are men. 80% of those overdoses, they were at one point prescribed an opiate. So we have to remember that men's health, it takes a lot of courage to seek help. And then we have these messages of man up and these messages of stay strong. And I think that now we've paired 2 pandemics together where men have been even further isolated. So I just really, really appreciate the work that Griffin does. So he works in the second pandemic where he's for Island Health, he's the coordinator of harm reduction for the opioid crisis. And he's been impacted, a moral injury from the work that he's done. And it's been an interesting time, but so much healing has happened. And I'm so glad I get to share this with you guys. So here we go.
Howdy. Anne asked me to make a video about how I use oils. She's asked me a bunch of times. I've said yes a bunch of times, and I've never actually done it. But I know that she's focusing more on that, and she's talking more about that. And I certainly share the oils a lot with a lot of people, to be honest, and primarily because I use them a lot. So that's what I thought I would do, is just share a few of the different oils and the ways that I'm using them. Because I use a variety of different oils every single day. They're just a part of my kind of daily health regimen, just totally worked in there. It's not even intentional anymore. And yet sometimes it does get intentional, and I'll talk about that too. But, you know, coincidentally right now I'm suffering with allergies. And so that's how I got introduced to Young Living and to oils in general, was from my sister, and it was with lavender oil. And so lavender has and continues to be one of my favorites. I kind of think of it as like that general medicine that I used to take across my life, like Tylenol or Advil. You know, you just got an ache or a pain or this or that. And it's like, I used to reach for that. And now, in fact, I reach for lavender quite often. And I think the big difference there, and what I love and why I continue to use oils as much as I do, is because that reference there around, you know, reaching for a Tylenol, reaching for an Advil, reaching for different things, and knowing that you're putting all of that through basically your whole body. Those are general anesthetics or general kind of treatments that go throughout your whole body. They're not targeted. And that's the one thing, when I started wrapping my head around and using oils more often and more intentionally and seeking them out in different situations, I love that you can use them in the dose that you want, in the spaces or kind of places of your body that you want, that make the most sense for you, including sometimes taking capsules and doing internal. So sometimes when the lavender isn't enough, on my nose or on my face, my temples, I'll do a lavender bomb with some peppermint and some lemon and some lavender. And honestly, there are other times where I still need to reach for that other medication, but I combine the two. And it's really about kind of doing what I feel like I can do for myself to the limits, and then I turn back And I trust in other forms of medicine as well. One of the other kind of real constant touch points for me with oils is Valor. I just love it. I think it's an absolutely beautiful fragrance. It just, every time, I just think it's so gorgeous. I put it a lot in different oil rollers that I make for people, just thinking about courage. I don't know about you all out there, but like, life ain't easy, and I don't see it getting any easier. And so sometimes just showing up for your day, just continue on to whatever it is that you got to face next. I just put a little bit of Valor. I always do it at the base of my nose. I love to really kind of get the feel of the oil and like smell it and have it right there. I feel like that's the best way for me. So I just put it in my mustache. That's the truth. And then I'll often put a little bit on my temples, but mustache is where I generally go. Another constant is the Shutran oil. I just think it's a really nice fragrance. I don't wear fragrances. I don't wear deodorants. I don't wear colognes of any nature. I kind of think of this as if I want to smell nice in a particular way, like just a real kind of solid manly vibe kind of way, then I throw on Shutran. I have the beard oil and stuff, and I probably should tend to my face. I don't look at myself enough, is the truth. So I don't think to use the beard oil enough, but it's definitely there, and I do at times. I probably should more often. Another kind of significant one in terms of what I do on a day-to-day basis, Thieves is huge. I use it pretty much every day. I love just putting a few drops in my mouth after I've brushed my teeth and I'm outdoor for the day. I just feel like it's a nice way to kind of walk out of the house. Similarly, if I have a toothache or just in general, if I feel any kind of sniffle, sometimes it's just like that idea of kind of tending to your health in a daily way. Thieves is that one that I go to, put it on my neck, around these glands, often kind of just down here. And again, at the base of my nose, it's pretty hot though, so you don't want to get it up in your nose, I'll tell you that much. But I love these. Using the toothpaste, using the Thieves line in general. The Thieves line is huge for our family. So it moved us away from having a lot of other chemicals, soaps, different things like that. It all has really been, in large part, replaced with Thieves line. The laundry detergent, the dish detergent, the hand pumps for the soap. That's what we're really turning to. And it feels good, to be honest, to use kind of a solid line of product that smells really nice. Now when I'm in different environments, I work in hospitals and health centers sometimes, you catch real chemical kind of ammonia based stuff, or those pine sols or those bleaches, and they just hit you differently. And I like that, when you come into our home and it's softer, in my impression anyways. The last thing that's really kind of topical for me right now is I've injured my back, and that's not an uncommon thing. And I just have to take care of it, and I'm doing the best that I can. But right now, it actually just kind of went on itself, and so using Cool Azul quite a bit and rubbing that in, and oftentimes I'm adding that in. So Deep Relief is another one that I use. Often we use that in a bath as well. Got Peppermint here. Peppermint is like a catch-all as well. I can put it right alongside Lavender and Thieves. Honestly, I just use it all the time, and there's just so many, whether it's a headache or just kind of stress. I love the vibe of it. It's like really awakening to put it underneath of your nose. It's definitely hot when you put it on your tongue and press that. And then lemongrass. And oftentimes what I'm doing with these is using them in a bath with some salts, just trying to kind of, ease my muscles, ease my joints and my bones and stuff. I'd like to say that I feel better in this 41-year-old body than I do at times, but this is the way that I'm really using the oils. And, that a lot of that is around kind of physical, kind of daily health, as I started out with the Lavender and the Valor and the Thieves, just my kind of hygiene with the Shutran in terms of like wanting to smell nice and feel good about myself. And then these kind of pain, they're hot. All of these are hot and good for the muscles, good for the joints. The one that surprised me the other day, I just thought I'd throw a little surprise in there, was I've been working through some different emotional stuff. I've been doing some men's work, and continuing to do healing kind of around my emotional and mental health, to be honest. And different oils will come to me, or I just find myself using them, drawn to them for some reason. So yesterday I'd gone for a walk. It had been an emotional day. Romy and I went up to Maffeo Sutton Park and stood with our community as we mourned those children that were taken in the residential school. And came back, and I just was there, and a lot of the energy and kind of feelings from the time there and standing there in community were still with me. I had some really nice cries, some painful kind of tears, thinking about our history and our lived reality right now. That was really what was at the forefront. And I just found myself reaching for inner harmony. I don't know why, and I don't think I've ever really talked about it too much, but I said to Anne, I was like, wow, do I ever like the smell of that? There's just something about that, and I was drawn to it without knowing that. And I just put it all over myself yesterday. And I found myself holding and carrying it close today, to be honest. So those are just a few ways that I use oils. Again, I like to talk about it. I don't often do this, but I hope that there's some value here. These oils are a big part of my life, and I've really appreciated that. Using them in the ways that I do really started to shape how I engage with my health in a daily way. It's just a daily regimen, and again, these are a big part of it. So, wishing you all well, good health, much love.
Awesome. Okay, so that's Griffin in a nutshell. He's a passionate, intense fella. And I hope you got a sense of how much he loves the product. Now is a good time for us to kind of stop, because he went through a lot of products. And if there's any questions, or if people have other testimonials, this would be a good time. So I'm just gonna join back so I can see everyone. Jim, you're up. I'm gonna unmute you.
Let me, okay.
Okay. I'm not used to this.
Hello, darling. I'm just introducing my amazing husband, who is not the most super techie guy. So he's going to talk about, what are you going to talk about, babe?
Me.
He's going to talk about him. He's going to talk about his amazing geranium. That's what he's going to talk about. So I'm going to hand it over to Jim. You go, babe.
Okay. So about 2 or 3 years ago, Cheryl got me involved in this. And of course, I didn't believe any of it until she made me up a little concoction for my blood pressure. I don't take blood pressure pills anymore because of this. So now I just kept going and going with all the different oils. And I have a regime in the morning. It takes me about 15 or 20 minutes just to get all the different oils, the different concoctions I've made up. And, I've got to really budget my time, make sure I get it done. But I'm not going to talk about those. I'm going to talk about one of my night ones. I have a really bad case of sleep apnea. And I would wake up in the middle of the night gasping. I couldn't breathe. It's just as though I had swallowed something down into my lungs. And it would wake Cheryl up every night that I did this. This would go on probably twice a week, at least. So I read somewhere about geranium. And they said it was good for sleep apnea. And I said, okay, well, I'll try anything for this. So I put a little roller ball on the top of my sleep apnea, or on top of my geranium bottle. And I take the geranium and I spread it all over my chest and all over my neck. And I rub it in, make sure that it all gets in there. And sure enough, it worked for my sleep apnea. I can't tell you about anybody else's, but maybe since I've been doing this in the last, 6 months?
Yeah,
Last 6 months,
or a year.
I've only woken up once with that feeling that I'm choking to death. So to me, geranium is my new lifesaver. So okay, Cheryl got something to say now.
Hello, my darlings. Okay, so here's the thing. Jim would wake up with the sleep apnea. It would be terrifying for me as his wife because he couldn't get his breath. It was like, did we call 911? And again, knowing that we can't cure, treat, all of those things that we can't do with Young Living. However, having said that, with the geranium, being able to sleep through the night, not have Jim wake up in total terror and me in terror. Maybe that's, I don't know how extreme that sounds for everybody, but we have been so grateful for what we have received. So yeah, I know. That's, yeah, boop, boop, boop. Very grateful, very grateful. So as a couple, now here's the thing. So here we are, an older couple. We're both in our mid-60s. We've discovered oils in our later years, and I can't tell you how grateful we are for all of that. So there you go, love. Back to you, Anne.
Oh, you're so fabulous.
We
I
are.
love that. I had not heard of geranium for that. I have heard of people using RC for that,
Yes,
but not geranium. So that's fabulous. So thank you so much. That's so valuable because so many people do experience that. That's so fabulous. Thank you for sharing. And yeah, I love that you guys race to the oil shelf in the morning.
yes.
And like compete.
Okay. Can we talk about that? Can I just talk about that for a second? Because I know we've shared that with you, but maybe not everybody else. So I'm just going to walk you onto our Young Living shelf. Okay, bear with us for a second. Bear with me. Okay, so I'm gonna. Can I flip the screen? I don't know if can I flip screen in?
Yeah, if you don't have a cover on it, you can just press the button that rotates it.
Not sure where that is. Anyways, I wish I could do that immediately, and I'm not sure. And then I know everybody's kind of like, okay, it's getting late, let's go to bed. Anyways, in front of me is a screen, is my oil shelf. I'm just going to try and see if I can find this because I really want to share this with you guys. So,
Carol,
okay,
just
so
turn your phone.
Yeah, just turn it.
Just like physically turn your
Thanks,
phone.
Emily. Okay, doing that. Tell me what you guys can see.
There you go. Yeah, we see it.
There you go. Okay, so when Anne set me up, I don't know how long ago. It's been a while.
Yeah, 2017, let's say.
Let's go. Okay, so and then I went to a mutual friend of ours, and I said, I want you to build me a shelf that will hold all my oils, and it's got to be at least 100 bottles. So as you all saw, this is what we have. And we haven't set back, we haven't looked back since. So part of my challenge is finding people in my age group that believe in the same oils that I believe in, like all of this. So very grateful to have this. And so no matter how old you are or how young you are, there's an oil for you. And that's what I wanted to say.
Thanks.
So thanks. My love.
I have been starting doing weekly calls with people across Canada, and there is actually 3 people on the call yesterday that have been using the product for over 20 years.
Oh,
yeah.
Amazing.
And so they were in their 60s, and I just love hearing that. And we've met now people who they're the grandchildren of the people that brought oils into their life. So
amen, right?
Yeah. So yes. So all of there's something for everyone. There's something for every age. And I love
absolutely
that. Yeah.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Thank you guys.
Mm-hmm.
So part of this fun topic is that there's an oil for every room in the house. Mm-hmm. And so we're gonna skip to the bedroom fairly soon. So sit back and enjoy some chuckles, enjoy seeing me like go completely red. And we have a cute little video to watch. Emily, do you want to say anything before I flip it to the video? No. Okay. And
I
then,
do not. I do not. I thought when I asked my husband to speak about his favorite Young Living product, it would be Profound, because he also struggles with depression and mental health, and lemon is his go-to. But that is not what he talked about.
okay, here we go.
Gentlemen, I'm here today to talk about a couple of my favorite Young Living products.
Emily's husband.
All you guys that enjoy a good little handy from your wife, Sensation Oil really takes it up a level. Put a couple drops of Sutron on your junk. Get her to rub that in with some Sensation. It's gonna heat things up. That bedroom's gonna be smoking hot, and you're gonna be flying to the moon. So there's a couple of my favorite products, and you know, it doesn't have to be used with a partner, but preferably. That's all I'm gonna say.
Thank you, Aaron. Okay, now serious Aaron. Serious Aaron.
Okay, one of the other oils that I have a hard time living without is peppermint. When I'm at work, I get really bad, sometimes headaches that run from the top of my head down the back of my neck. And last time I was there, I didn't have any peppermint with me, so I had to go into the medics, and they ended up giving me Tylenol for it and Robaxacet, and that still didn't work. That peppermint I put on the back of my neck, within like literally 5 seconds, my headache's already almost gone and relaxes my muscles. I smell like Christmas. What more can you ask for?
Look at that, the clean version. I forgot to like say if there's kids in the room. I forgot that like disclaimer. So I hope that was okay for everyone. So what I wanted to do was, I'm just gonna go back to seeing you all for a second, just to see if there's any questions or any other testimonials before I go into some of the sneak peeks that we have. We also are touching on Sensation and Shutron was the other one. Vicky just asked what was, it was Sensation massage oil and then Shutron.
I just want to also say I have no idea why he says Shutron because we have never done that. So I think it's because he likes to wear Shutron because it might lead to the Sensation oil. That's how he got it wrong. But Cypress, I would say, with the Sensation oil.
Yeah, I was curious about that. Good clarification. So when I show the sneak peek, we're going to dive into the products a little bit more and like what some of the benefits and, you know, why they may be marketed as such. I think we've heard, you know, how Griffin's using them and how Aaron's using them and how Jim's using them and like kind of what ones are standing out, but we'll kind of dig in a little bit deeper too. And I just really want to make sure people ask questions if we're kind of skimming over why we're using them in certain ways. But Shutron was actually developed to attract. So it really was, and it has amazing oils in it that are geared to confidence. And so it's a really nice smell. It's awesome. Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to go back to some of the products and then we have a couple more shares. I'm just going to stop talking for a second, just make sure if anyone wants to ask a question, now is your chance. Okay, I'm going. All right, you guys are great. Okay, so like I said, super sneak peek. This actually doesn't release until June 6th. And here is what is being released. There's these sets, and because I don't have the Young Living graphics, I've kind of made do with what I had, but I had most of the products. Okay, so the sunscreen is being released with this cool, not this cool duffel bag, but a cool duffel bag. So that one's being released on the 6th, and these ones will be available, these sets will be limited edition sets available between June 6th to the 20th. So kind of great Father's Day ideas, or partners, or focusing on men's health. And so the sunscreen and the duffel bag go together, and they'll wholesale at $56. The Shootron's shave cream, so it's a really nice shave cream, and the Shootron oil. So Griffin uses that daily. Erin mentioned it too. It's such a great oil. And that one, so it's about alleviating stress and boosting confidence. And a big component in both the Shootron shave cream and the Shootron oil is the Idaho Blue Spruce, which we're going to hear about in the next video that we watch. So those two are coming as a set, which they don't normally come as a set. And then this center one, this middle one, it comes with that boost bar. So we had one, I can't remember when it was given to us last year. And this one is, I think then it was focused on general health, and this one is focused for men's health. So it could be something to help with, you know, the routine and having it set in their area. And it includes Valor. So Griffin talked a lot about Valor. That one, when I think of Valor, I think of pain or courage or sleep. Those are kind of the three big things for me for Valor. Idaho Blue Spruce is an aphrodisiac. It also increases the circulation. Spearmint oil is a stimulant. So you can think of it for hypertension. You can think of it for digestion because it's that mint. You can think of it for muscles. It's uplifting. It's great for changing the mood. So those are a great combo for guys. And then over in the top corner, that one, it's actually a grill set, and it comes with orange and lemon for cooking. So I'm having Ningxia tonight. So I do a spritzer, like fizzy water, Ningxia, and then I added orange plus into it. So orange for cooking, but for the Father's Day set, it actually comes with a barbecue cleaner. So adding lemon or orange into our cooking, like we add it to, like if we're grilling fish or if we're making a salad dressing. I did Greek night last night, so I added lemon into cooking the chicken and the potatoes with Greek spice. So great cooking ideas, and so summery and refreshing. And then the last one is the Mister and the Prostate Health combo. So these two, so Mister, I do want to mention, we talked about it in our hormones one last night too, or last week, but it shouldn't be forgotten that Mister can be used by women or men. So just look into some of the benefits for hormones if Mister might be a good idea. But basically for men, this was something that helped with testosterone before like we went through infertility. So this was a big piece of us supporting testosterone before us trying to have children. And we went 10 years without being able to have kids. Young Living came into that at the very end. By the time I was pregnant, Young Living we were starting. So I wish I had known a long time ago. But definitely supporting hormones, male or female, Mister can be a component for that. And then Prostate Health, these are the capsules, like liquid caps, and that's for supporting healthy prostate health. So dealing with inflammation and just the healthy prostate. So that's available in Canada. Okay, I'm going to stop share for a second and just check if there's any questions before I go on. They're really, really great promos. I know. I love the comment that you're getting all of it. Yes, yes, yes. Okay, I'm just going to queue up a video for you guys. Just one sec.
Hey, this is Andy Jenkins. I actually have you in my kitchen cabinet. See, like you're in the cabinet. Okay, so I'm going to share with you, I'm in my kitchen. Kids are going to probably walk by. They're doing breakfast, all that before we get started for school. I'm going to show you kind of my morning routine, something I use every single day. Now, I've got this espresso cup that I got from Starbucks not too long ago. It's kind of one of my favorite stores. That's my cup. I use that every single morning. By the way, my kids actually do this with these glasses. You know that as a shot glass. They've never taken shots, so they actually think these are Ninja glasses. Referring to this right here is a bottle of Ninja Red. That's a great drink from Young Living Essential Oils. High on antioxidants, anti-inflammatories. Here's basically what that means. Lots of science behind it, but it makes you look good and feel even better and stronger. Lots of energy. And so I take that serving is really about 2 ounces inside right there. And then I take 2 of my favorite essential oils, which is one is Idaho Blue Spruce. When you're a guy, after the age of 30, your testosterone drops. I'm going to put 2 to 3 drops in there. Your testosterone drops at the rate of about 1% per year. I don't know how much came out of that. Maybe, hold on a second. So thankfully I had more of this because one of my friends, every single time that he has a fun thing, like when he give gifts to guys, he actually gives us Idaho Blue Spruce. And so get 2 drops in that. And also your testosterone at the age of 30, I kind of lost my train of thought. It drops at about the rate of 1% a year. And so from age 30 to 35, no functional difference. But by the time you get to 30 to 40, you feel a lot less strong. 40 to 50, on into your later than that, you see guys that functionally have the muscle mass that would be the equivalent of really as a female, and guys, you know, we're just kind of bodily constructed differently. And testosterone, it affects your muscle mass, it affects your metabolism, it affects your mood, it affects your strength, your stamina, everything. So I go ahead and put that in there. Also, another one of my favorites is goldenrod. Now, goldenrod is known to enhance, let's just say, circulation, particularly to extremities in your body, and probably to certain extremities in particular. You can, you know, read between the lines on that one. You'll like it. You know, you're married, your wife will thank you for that and be glad to order you that. I take 2, 3 drops of that. Also, just drop that in there every single morning right there inside of the Ninja Red. Just put it in there. And then I just get it and just, that's it. It's gone. Nothing left in there. Rinse it out. Do it again the next day. A lot of guys say they don't take the goldenrod. They say, oh, you know, man, I don't need it. I'd say this: if you don't need it, you can only order 1 a month. Get it, send it to me. I'll be glad to pay the shipping and handling and whatever you want to charge me on top of that. Because Idaho Blue Spruce is an absolute game changer. This one right here, absolute game changer. Both those kind of must-haves. That's my morning routine. That's my morning shot, and that's it.
Okay, one more quick one, and then we'll go back to chatting.
If you had one car for the rest of your life, would you treat it better? If you wanted it to run at its best, wouldn't you fill it with premium fuel? Now, are you thinking about the food that you're eating and the impact that it's having on your body and the impact that it's having on your results and your goals?
Mate, okay, what are you doing with my car?
Time to go.
His message was valuable. Talking about if we only have this one body and what are we going to do about it, whether we're running away from stealing a car or not, but it's still, we only have the one body. I think it's important to mention this is such an important topic, and I know that there's a lot of us females on the call, and again, I just really don't want to misrepresent or miss the opportunity that men have to be empowered and take their life into their own hands and to have something to reach for. So I think it's such a great way that we can be helping families. And I think that it's important to recognize how many families do like that have the men are making these decisions. Like, I know there's a lot of people on this call that is the scenario. And even the people that are our mentors. So Adam Greene, who has been a part of Young Living for a really long time because his parents were a part of Young Living. But he's the leader in his family, and he was introduced to his wife at a Young Living event. So, there's examples of people that have been really successful in the business, even that are men and that are young men. And I think that, when I hear Griffin talking about the need for men to have options in their health, I really think Young Living is pretty something special for a lot of people, as a product or as a business. But it could be really powerful for people. And there's a Facebook group called Oils for Dudes, and Griffin's a part of that, and that's only men. So if you have any male members, you can add them to that Facebook group, or they can be added. And there's great testimonials on there. They have really great events. They get together, in normal times, do fundraising like bike ride, motorcycle rides to Utah, and just really great things. And we, in our community, we have some wonderful men that are a part of it. Okay, what are the oils in the prostate health? Is that the question? I'm just looking at the questions, and I have it in front of me, so I'll look at it. But feel free to ask questions or jump in with your thoughts, how you think this, how is this landing for you? Any ideas, anything curious about? Go for it. Oh, this is interesting. Geranium is one of the first oils listed. Sweet fennel, lavender, myrtle, peppermint, and the carrier, the carrier is pumpkin seed oil, which is one of the main ingredients.
I really wish that more men were on this, because this was really great information. And just curious about recording and sharing. Yeah. Okay. And there's something else, but lost that thought on that one. Anyways, so good. I feel like this needs to be like regular. I don't know. It's really good.
It's hard to be, a group of women talking about men's health, right? And so, so I definitely think there's room for men to really own this and run with it, for sure. So the place that these recordings go to is our YouTube channel, the Oil Up YouTube channel. So subscribe to that, and that's how you find all the recordings of the classes.
Can you put that in the chat?
Yes.
Thank you.
Cheryl, were you gonna get on?
Yeah, Cheryl, you wanted to say something.
Okay, so hi, darlings. Okay, so Jim is asking me a question about something we heard earlier, and unfortunately, we can't remember exactly what it was.
It's on the YouTube.
Okay.
And it was a guy talking about the
Okay, wait a minute. I gotta find my husband.
Okay.
Okay, anyways, he doesn't want to be on screen.
It was the other oil that went along with the Idaho Blue.
Okay, so there was something about Idaho Blue Spruce and an oil that went with that. Can you help me?
Yes. I'm just gonna advance my screen just 1 second.
Thank you.
It was goldenrod.
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 Okay. Yes, we will talk about that.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Yes, he just didn't hear the question. So him and I will talk and then we'll connect.
Yeah. The Lucy Libido book or class really focuses on the oils for him and her. And so these would be the top picks for him. So goldenrod produces this result. And it is like, if it goes out of stock, there is tears. So it is an amazing one.
Good to know.
It is from the US market.
Okay.
It is available, but it is from the US market.
Okay. Good to know. Thank you.
And then Mr. is one of the ones that's in the promo that's available. Hung Kwai is also available in Canada. Idaho Blue Spruce is in the promo, and Shutran is a favorite for sure.
Good to know. Thank you.
Also, I know that Adam has always shared that sulfurzyme is the one, like if he had to narrow it down to one favorite product, it would be sulfurzyme. Just as a former personal trainer who knows what the wear and tear of physical activity can have on your joints, that has been a game changer for him. And I know that Miss Mar over there, she loves the Essential Zyme 4, and her husband also takes that daily. That he has Crohn's and has just found that Essential Zyme 4 has been such a game changer. So it's really cool that we're not just like geranium and lavender, even though how amazing is that to think that these floral smelling things can have such powerful medicinal supports to our men. And a great way for them to see those effects is to start using them yourself, and they'll feel the benefits, which is very cool because we share the air. And it's just really awesome that we have so many supplements. So in the spring catalog, we have the really neat supplement organizer that lets you do either AM and PM or 2 weeks worth of oils. And I just got that with sulfurzyme, Life 9, and vitamin B, I think, Super B. And so I'm sending that to work with my husband, so he doesn't have to bring all the bottles to work. And if I don't organize it for him, he won't take them. So it's just really cool that we have all of these things that we know based on the research with the bioavailability of the oils added to our supplements that there is no comparable. Like our supplements with the oils will give you the most effect on your body. And so to have these really neat solutions that we can offer our men, and they don't have to think about it. They don't have to reapply. They just swallow them and go on with their life. I just think that's very, very cool. And to get to know the supplement line a lot better is my new goal. So I just got a really neat desk reference to learn all about the supplements. And I'm excited to dive into that a lot more because my husband needs them too.
Did you get the Jen O'Sullivan one?
Yes, it is fantastic. Amazing. She has great, like, there's even a section in the beginning where if something's out of stock, this is what you should use instead, which I value so well, because when you're not in a factory production, like chemically altered product line, things go out of stock because we have a bad farming season. And so it's all laid out there, like what is a comparable product that will give you another benefit in the supplement line. So I absolutely love it.
Nice. Yeah, good deal. Okay.
Yes, that is so good. And I think that we have to look past our oils. Like, we have so many lines that support our health, and our health has improved so much once we switched everything to thieves, and then it improved again once we were taking supplements. So an example for us is on Friday, Griffin has a naturopath appointment in Duncan. And so he'll go and he'll get all the recommendations of the supplements that he needs, but then he'll come and check what we have already in Young Living, because we can get them 25% off. Then we get 25% back in points to spend like free on other things, which a health food store anywhere is not going to give you a loyalty credit of 25%. And then we'll find out what we have available, and then he'll get the rest through her. And both ways are the same ways. She orders online and they get delivered to our house. We order online, they get delivered to our house, and she can see the ingredients on them and approve.
Yes.
Good.
Fabulous.
That's what
Fabulous. Okay.
One more thing, I also know several Young Living couples that have been in this a long time in the States, and they have incredible protein powders and things that you can order that taste really, really, really good. And we can get them too. And it's really neat to look on the American catalog. If you switch the flag in your online office from the Canadian flag and you do a pull down, there'll be an American flag. You can look in there. They're only going to reveal to you the things that we can order, and you can spend your points on those things. Like the protein powders are really good, and that would be great. A way to switch and ditch for men that might already be taking protein powder.
Yes.
Yeah.
Great. Well, it's almost nearing 9 o'clock. Any final questions or thoughts?
Okay. Can I do this? How do I do this? Okay.
I have a quick question.
Oh. Yeah.
I think Yvette has a question, and Cheryl.
I have a quick question with regards to the oils there. You showed a nice picture of all the oils that we've been discussing. What is the most effective way that our men are using it with? Like, is it infused or is it rubbed on chest, back? Like, what is their favorite way of using those oils and most powerful or effective?
Good question. For Griffin, I would say topically, topically for most of the oils he uses, like Shutran every day. Valor, he's putting on the back and under his mustache, temples. And then he does ingest a lot. So he talked about Lavender Bomb, which I can say because we have a whole plus line of oils. And that means that the Lavender Plus, Peppermint Plus, Lemon Plus, like all of those ones that are plus line that we use in our cooking can be ingested. And so that he's quite comfortable doing it that way. So he would put it in a little capsule, an allergy bomb, and take it that way, or a lavender bomb, and putting thieves on his tongue, that sort of thing. Again, people build their own comfort and routine with what they're used to, but I think just get it on them. It will help. Just get it on. The other thing would be feet. If it's for sleep, or diffusing for sleep, like that's a nice way for thinking about how you're using them at nighttime. And then Aaron suggested his favorite way.
Yeah, he likes it applied topically. But I also, so he has fibromyalgia, and so sometimes I'll make him an Epsom bath, and he really loves that. But I have gone like to salt and pepper shaker before, and he feels like all the sensitive areas are exploding in pain. So I have realized that you just need one drop. Like I will do
common trio that I'll do is balsam fir, copaiba, and frankincense, just 1 drop of each into some, like a half a cup of Epsom salt, and shake it out into the bath. And when his body is aching, that's like incredible for him. Also, he, with his anxiety, he carries lemon around because he also has OCD, and it's his legit favorite cleaner on the planet. He's always messaging me like, can you get me more lemon? Because it'll take anything off anything. And so he's always carrying it around. And when he feels his anxiety elevating, I just remind him to smell the lid. And I have watched it take him from an actual hyperventilating, like he was having a panic moment. I've never seen a panic attack before, but I was like, where's your lemon? And he pulled it out of his pocket and just smelt the lid, and he could breathe again, like in 10 seconds. Like, it was incredible, the inhaling it. So, I mean, we're always diffusing here. And he also loves to do thieves, the spray as well. He loves that, but topically, and the Coolazole pain cream, he loves that, like massage onto knees, calf muscles, back, anywhere that as a tradesman, like he gets achy, and we just massage that.
Great examples. Thank you. Cheryl, did you have a final question? You're muted. I muted you.
Thank you. Thank you for unmuting me, because you know how much I like to talk. We were listening to Emily, and there was something that came up in that conversation, and I'm sorry. We are senior people, and we forget things very quickly.
Well, you just asked about how I use the oils.
Bear with us 1 sec. Okay, I'm going to pass you over to Jim. And what are you going to say?
Well,
no, just look at Lan. Look at Anne. Just look at Anne.
Most of the oils I use Raven at night in a diffuser. I use Valor on the bottom of my feet for sleep. The geranium is rubbed into my chest, rubbed into my neck.
That's for your sleep apnea.
That's for my sleep apnea. In the morning, I have a concoction I do up that is frankincense, oregano, and peppermint. I put that in.
A drop of each.
2 drops of each. In the Ninja. Yeah, the red stuff. And so I ingest it that way. So, but a lot of the way I use the oil is either ingest or rub it. I very seldom inhale it. So that was just for that other lady that was curious how it's used. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, he's done.
Yeah, I'm done.
That is so wonderful. And you guys are very healthy, and you guys are out every weekend hiking, and you guys are the perfect example of why we do this. Like, good for you guys. It's amazing.
Somebody put in the chat, Stephanie, about the mermaid hair. That is something lots of men need. And so I don't know what we would call them, mermen, I don't know, but just think thick, luscious hair. There are so many before and afters. I actually have a nurse on my team that 3 years ago, she read about this combo of cedarwood, cypress, lavender, and rosemary. And she just did so much research, and she's like, I think I'm going to start spraying this on my husband every night. And so she did, and he got hair, like, and it wasn't white. Like, his hair came back. It was crazy. He had a very clear area here, and it filled in, and she just did it like twice a day. And so I am in a hair challenge right now with a bunch of you, and applying that same concoction. You can add it with, like, if you're just putting it in water, I would add a bit of witch hazel, put the oils in, like 10 liberally, like 10 to 20 drops of each of those into the witch hazel, just because it keeps it in the water. Put it in any glass spray bottle and just spray.
I imagine you could also like add it to a skin cream and massage it in at night or something, like depending on where it is. Like I'm not going to massage cream into my hair, so I'm just doing the spray. But it's amazing for hair growth. So eyelashes, eyebrows, hair, bald spots. Like I got, when I was talking about this at first, I had several women say, my husband needs to do this. And we have some men doing our challenge. They're just not admitting it like publicly, but they're doing it because like it's really amazing. These stimulate, like bring blood flow and stimulate regrowth and stuff. So very cool way to support your men.
I'm in the challenge, and what I've noticed is I have really just more lushy or darker feeling, healthier hair. I haven't necessarily seen a lot of growth, but my husband, it is amazing. I cut his hair 2 days ago and he's like, oh my goodness, this is working. This is working. He's just so excited. He is actually starting to have thicker hair up on top. So it is just amazing. And it's his first experience with the oil. So he's extremely excited. It's working.
That's so good. I love that. When Emily and I were talking about the hair challenge, we're definitely going to keep that one going because I think people will love to see the results and then more people try it. So we'll definitely keep that one going. I'm going to start one soon. And I know we're going a little bit over, but Emily brought up something that we do. So I put oils, Griffin makes his own deodorants like once every 6 months. He does a big batch where he makes all of his deodorants. And so he'll put his favorite scents in there, whatever he's kind of wanting. So Northern Lights Black Spruce is always in that. But also we add it, he makes his own soaps for the shower. So it might be a little bit of the Shoe-Trans soap and then water, but then he'll put his favorite oils in there too. So that would be a way to get the hair growth oils in, is just adding it to shampoo or adding it to products too. Okay, guys, this has been so much fun. And I'm so grateful that you hopped on and that you are caring about your health and your partner's health and your friend's health. And so I'm excited to see where this video will travel to and reach. And thank you so much. Have a great evening. You guys are amazing.